Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Up a little bit earlier than usual. I should say I'm on a little bit earlier than usual today. But I got a busy day today. Well, as I do most days, but I just wanted to come on while I had a few spare minutes, talk about this little Tyrese situation. What's going on, B Turner? Yeah, man. Alright. So if you don't know, Tyrese has been railroaded by the family court system yesterday. I've seen reports saying that he owes somewhere in the range of between $600,000 to $1 million in accumulated cost between back child support, his ex-wife's legal defense, as well as his legal defense for his family court situation. And the key factor, the key thing that I think is at the root of this situation, two things. Number one, just because you have money, just because you're a millionaire, just because you are not the normal man, just because you're more successful than the average man, doesn't mean that you're educated about the legal system, and especially the family court system. You guys think criminal court is bad? You guys have no idea how much destruction the family courts in America have caused. How many families the family court system in America has caused to be broken up. Do your research. Do your research. Do your research. So that's number one. Just because you're rich or you have money doesn't mean that you're educated and that you know about legal systems. It just means you have money. And money is supposed to be used as a tool. So when you have money, you want to make sure that you can get the best lawyers that money can buy. I don't know if he had the best lawyers. I would have to do some research. But I do know that's what rich people say, is that get the best lawyers that money can buy. Number two, and I can identify with this second part, what I'm about to say. Number two, being a hopeless, let me see what B. Turner says. Guys like Tyrese were set up for failure when it comes to dealing with women by their own mother. Absolutely. Absolutely. See, your mom is supposed to be putting you on game from the time you come out the womb. But unfortunately, we live, in a time where a lot of these mothers out here, and even back then, even back when I was growing up in the 90s, and I'm pretty sure even before that, these mothers, they want to turn their sons into husbands. And so that's how you end up with a bunch of mama's boys and son husbands. And when a woman finally marries a man, his mother gets in the marriage, and then the next thing you know, it's a problem between the husband's mother and the wife, because the son is really the mother's husband, because that's how he was raised to be. So that's in my personal opinion, that's something that's not talked about often enough, especially on major platforms. Because if major platforms, maybe like the Steve Harvey Show or the Breakfast Club or any of these mainstream morning talk shows, I'm pretty sure if they talked about it more, it could possibly begin to expose and eradicate some of the issues that we have when it comes to men, when it comes to some of the social foundational issues, when it comes to men not really being able to be a fully functional man in terms of having a wife and children. Tyrese is a textbook hopeless romantic, and that's exactly my next point that I was getting ready to touch on, B. Turner. Is the reason I can relate to the second part is that yes, Tyrese is a hopeless romantic, and the reason that I can identify with that is because Zone as well is also a hopeless romantic. However, I was able to diagnose my problem. So because I was able to diagnose my problem, when my 10-year relationship ended with my daughter's mother, I was able to do things like not jump into another relationship, not get another woman pregnant, not do a lot of irresponsible things that a lot of men do out here, and then they want to turn around and say that they are then now a victim of paternity fraud, because next thing you know they're on child support, or they want to claim that they're a victim of the family court when they volunteered. They're not a victim, because you didn't do the work that it takes for you to get your mind right, so that you could get on your purpose, and so that you could walk a straight and narrow path and get to that next level. And then when you get to that next level, if you still want to have a girl, or if you still want to get a wife and kids, then you do that. But you shouldn't do that unless you've been able to diagnose your problems and come up with solutions. So I can identify with Tyrese really well, because I myself am a ladies' man. I myself am in a current situation where I have a girl that I really like, and then I have a girl who really likes me, right? And I've been told that you should go with the girl that really likes you. But the problem is, I don't know too much about her. So, and we actually just met not that long ago, so I'm not rushing that. And plus, she already said she was about to move across country, so I'm not even going to pursue that or take that serious at all, right? I'm thinking with this brain, not just thinking with that brain, right? So, yeah, that's Tyrese's main problem, is that he's a hopeless romantic, and he just, it seems like he has a problem with being alone, with being by himself. That's what it seems like, because it seems like Tyrese is always either married or in a relationship or having some type of issue with a woman. So the reality of it, gentlemen, is that you can't, being a hopeless romantic is a setup for failure, like my man B. Turner said. I know when it comes to me and my relationships, in my relationship with my daughter's mother, yeah, in the beginning I was kind of a hopeless romantic, but then I saw, within that decade, how the tables began to turn and things like that. So you have to be very emotionally intelligent about the decisions that you make when it comes to choosing the woman that you want to have in your life, or the women, in my case, because I want more than one. Let me see here. Tyrese is the type of dude that probably just assumes a woman will never do him dirty just because he's famous. Absolutely. A regular guy like me, even me getting involved with a woman, that makes me a target, right? But a guy like him with money, that makes him a target with money. And I'm not saying that I don't have money. I'm just saying that I don't have Tyrese's kind of money. Yeah, let me see. Most of the judges in family courts are simps. They come from cultures where they probably never seen a woman play a man, which is why they can't relate. Oh, absolutely. And B. Turner, the key word that you use there is culture. Black people don't have a culture here in America. We don't have traditions as a whole, in a social economic background as a whole, that we bring from different parts of the earth and put into practice here in the United States. And that is that's actually a major problem as to why black society cannot function, and black men and black women can't function in long-term relationships or legal marriage. Let me see. Being smooth and cool with the women is fine, and I'll call it a necessity. The problem becomes when you wear your heart on your sleeve because you think the women can hurt you. Absolutely. The major difference between when your wife is vulnerable, is that, you see, emotion for them, they live in emotion. But the problem with men, with vulnerability for us, is that we don't live in emotion. So when we wear our heart on our sleeve, we don't know how to handle it when it gets to a point where we've never been emotionally before. And oftentimes that causes the destruction of a man. And that's why you end up seeing a man kill another man over a woman, because